As a limited company director, you do not have to pay yourself large amounts of money to achieve that higher mortgage. You can still be tax efficient. You actually have more options than most self-employed applicants on how to present yourself to a lender in your income. So if you're only using your personal tax income, so what's showing on your tax calculations, not only are you increasing yourself chance of getting a higher tax bill, but you could be reducing your borrowing power. Hi, I'm Jenny from Your Mortgage Hub, and I'm here to help those starting out or starting over by showing them what you should and shouldn't be doing when it comes to applying for a mortgage. I had a client who was a first-time buyer. He was a bit of an older first-time buyer, and he was 100% company director of his own limited company, and he was super tax efficient. So his net profit was for his company was sort of in the six figures, but he didn't pay himself anywhere near this because he just didn't need to. You know, why pay more and pay more tax than you don't if you don't need to? So he kept his salary and his dividends quite low to make himself efficient. Now, when he went to his first mortgage broker, they turned around to him and said, you're going to need to wait 8 months to submit your new tax returns, and you're going to need to pay yourself massive amounts of money to achieve the borrowing that you want. And he just wasn't happy with that, really. He didn't see why he should do that when he knew he could afford it. So he decided to come to me to sort of see what options he had. And I explained to him, there's two things we need the lender to do. The first thing we need to use is your latest year's figures. And the second thing we need the lender to do is we need them to use your share of net profit and your salary. So he didn't need to suddenly pay himself massive amounts of money. We just had to change how we was going to present his income to the lender. So after doing a bit of research, we managed to find a lender that will allow him to use the latest year's figures and use his share of net profit, which meant he could remain tax efficient. He didn't need to suddenly pay himself loads more money. Lenders know the money is there in the business that you can take out if you need to. But why would you take it out and pay yourself more money when you simply don't need to? So he spoke to his accountant. The accountant writ the accountant's certificate. We submitted that to the lender. The mortgage has gone to offer. He's buying his first home, which is just fantastic news. Now, there's three things that most limited company directors aren't aware about when it comes to their income and how to present that to a lender. The first one is as a limited company director, as I've kind of alluded to, you can choose to present your income in two ways. The first way is you can use your salary and dividends, which a lot of people will know, and a lot of people will do that. It will be on your tax calculations and overviews. That's your personal income, okay? And the second way is you can use your share of net profit and your salary. Now, usually this is a lot higher because company directors will leave the profit in the business rather than taking it out and getting that tax, that increased tax amount. So when you are going to your broker, you need to be sending them your last 3 years of accounts, or as many as you've got, and also your last 3 years of tax calculations and overview. And your broker will look and decide what's the best income to use when it comes to getting your mortgage. Number two, changing from a sole trader to a limited company does not mean you cannot get a mortgage, okay? Most lenders will see that actually you've just decided to become tax efficient. You're just changing how you pay yourself in essence. So as long as you haven't changed the structure of your company, so you haven't suddenly gone and got a new director or lots of new partners, lenders will allow you to change from a sole trader to a limited company without having to do new tax returns and get 3 years of accounts. Number three, as a limited company director, you can add accounting deductions back into your income. So it may be that you've had one-off expenses. It might be that you're paying rent that you won't necessarily pay when you move. It could be pension contributions. And what we can do is we can put them back into your accounts, which can increase your profits and therefore increase your borrowing power. So the three things there are, one, you can use your salary and dividends, or your net profit and salary. Number two, if you're a sole trader and you go into a limited company, you can still get a mortgage. And number three, there's certain things we can add back into your accounts to increase that borrowing power. If you want to know what's the best way to present your income to the lender, drop me a comment below and we can have a look.